The largest grief in WoW history was committed on July 11, 2023, in the dungeon Naxxramas. A small community in WoW called Hardcore has been recently growing, large enough that Blizzard announced official Hardcore servers to launch in late summer 2023. While they are waiting for the official Hardcore realms, these players use an add-on to self-police a Hardcore experience, following very strict rules in which if your character dies in game, you must delete it. A guild called Hardcore Elite was raiding Naxx, arguably the hardest raid ever released in WoW's history, each character with well over 1,000 hours of playtime. There were rumors that one of the raiders, Tiny Violin, was a malicious player, back when Classic WoW first came out. Let's take a look at Tiny Violin's history. Tiny Violin 69 used to dispel world buffs. Raiders in vanilla WoW were expected to have these buffs in raid, because they gave them huge stat bonuses. They had to travel all over the world to collect these buffs, and sometimes had to wait idly for hours for someone to drop a world buff. There were a lot of world buff griefers, since it was as simple as clicking on someone in the opposing faction and casting Dispel. But nobody griefed world buffs quite like Tiny Violin. Tiny Violin had over 10 WoW accounts, and even streamed his dispelling sprees.
This is what happens, okay? You're gonna cry too much, and I'm fucking psychopath. And yes, I will get 9 accounts and PvP the out of everyone on the server. So, you know, Ken W wronged me. Ken W stole my Scarab Lord mount from me. This is just me giving back to the community after have been wronged by so many different people. Now I have to PvP them.
Tiny Violin was soon banned on all of his accounts for this behavior. This is the same Tiny Violin that is in this raid. Tens of thousands of character hours at stake. Tiny Violin does not waste any time and jumps into action. He starts dragging the horsemen next to another. In this fight, it is important to keep the horsemen separate in their own corners, because each applies a dot to anyone near them. And if they get more than a certain number of these dots, they do incredible damage. Tiny Violin knows this, so he starts to bring the horses together. Someone taunts the horse off of Tiny Violin and tries to save the raid and bring it back to the correct corner. But Tiny Violin is on a sadistic mission, hits revenge on the horse and gets aggro back, and continues to bring it back into the wrong corner.
You're actually control.
Oh, fuck. Was that the wrong corner?
Did you just do that?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I had the wrong corner. Oh.
Everyone else scrambles, but they are locked in with the exit gate closed. A few tried a Petri Flask, which normally makes you invulnerable for a short time. However, there are a few abilities that Petri Flask doesn't work on, and this horseman has one of those abilities. They have to sit there and wait for the character to die in vain. 35 raiders and 1 troll dead. Only 4 who Hearth survive.
He actually griefed us. He just fucking griefed us.
A tragic event in the hardcore community, and possibly the largest grief in gaming history. In an interview with Asmongold, one of the survivors, Calamity, reveals that Tiny Violin played WoW with them for 15 to 20 hours every week for the last year. He also played other games with the guild outside of WoW. They found out about his past 2 months after he joined the guild, but decided to keep him in since he was such a good guildmate at the time. As for the guild and how they will continue, they are split on how to handle this situation. Do they delete their characters, or continue on and potentially damage the sanctity of their hardcore journey? Either way, they have a tough choice to make with no positive outcomes. This may be a foreshadowing of events to come in the new Hardcore Classic realms. It's fitting that this event happened just weeks before Hardcore's release. Hardcore may very well end up a griefer's playground. Tiny Violin 69's name will be remembered as the player who killed 35 others in Naxxramas. That is until the next troll who kills 36. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.